how to glow up in 2025. I will be giving you all these steps and things that you can do so that you can glow up. All right, first we need to address that glow up is not just about your looks. A lot of people want to glow up physically, but internally they are hurt, they are bitter and broken. So I will be teaching you how to glow up in your physical appearance, but then also your inner being, which is actually more important. All right, so for your appearance, let's start with hair. So you want to find a hairstyle that fits your face shape. And this goes for both men and women. You're just going to have to experiment and see what you like and what works for you. Also, hair color. This one's a big one because, for example, I went platinum blonde and I totally saw that it washed me out. So for me, I've realized that warm colors really suit me because they bring out the warmth in my skin and the warmth in my eyes, so that's why I just stick with brown hair color, but everyone's different. You just need to see what hair color suits you the best. Also, you should be using a clarifying shampoo, perhaps like once or twice a month. So the thing about clarifying shampoo is that it gets rid of all the buildup in your hair. So especially if you wear hair gels or hairsprays or just anything like that that you put in your hair, it will kind of remove all of that, but it will also remove hair color and the natural oils in your hair. So that's why you don't want to use it too much, especially if your hair is color treated or if you're blonde. You can also massage your scalp, and I use this just whenever I wash it. Whenever I am shampooing, I kind of just use this in a circular motion as I have my shampoo. You should actually be shampooing twice. One to get rid of everything, and then the second one to actually clean your hair. And when you're washing your hair, you also want to rinse with cool water. It doesn't have to be extremely cold because, like, why? At least just don't have it be hot. And if it's in the warm side, at least try to make it a little cooler than it is warm. And another big thing is that you want to use hair protectant, especially if you love to style your hair. Like for me, I love to blow dry it, straighten it, or curl it. I use the Chi hair protectant, and I kind of just spray a little bit all over every time that I'm going to style my hair. All right, moving on to the skin. So for the skin, you want to have a good skincare routine. If you still don't know, you can even ask ChatGPT nowadays and it can give you a good skincare routine. I actually asked ChatGPT for a skincare routine based on my skin type, and it actually did give me really good information. So for skin, it's really hard to recommend stuff because everyone has different skin types. You just need to know your skin type and try to also experiment and see what works for you, what doesn't. It usually takes about a week or two for your skin to start getting used to a new skincare routine, and then you will kind of see it. However, if you start breaking out, don't worry. I mean, sometimes that happens every time you change a skincare routine, and eventually it adapts to the new skincare routine. But I would definitely say to invest in azelaic acid. I use the Nua azelaic acid, and this one helps me so much. I love this. I actually wear it every single day in the morning. You should also invest in face masks. I mean, this one's it's good to have, especially when it has hydrating products in it. There's one that I like that's like a honey one. This one always makes my skin really nice the next day. And I usually wear face mask once a week. And sometimes the face mask can last pretty long. If you don't use the whole thing, it can last maybe two or three times. And so you don't have to keep spending money on it or anything. Another big thing that you want to do for your skin is wear sunscreen. I cannot emphasize this enough. Sunscreen is just like the biggest lifesaver. I use the Ulta MD sunscreen and I wear this all the time. I will even reapply because a lot of people wear sunscreen in the morning and then they think that they don't need to reapply, but especially in the summertime and especially if you're going to be outdoors, you have to reapply every 2 hours. So do not forget the sunscreen. Apply it all over, even on your lips, okay? Even on your neck, even on your ears if you want. Now when you wash your face, you want to use cold water, okay? Because it basically helps with any puffiness on the skin, especially when you are waking up. And if you do have a puffy face, I can make a different video about that, all these tips that you can do to reduce a puffy face. But what you want to do is just wash your face with cold water, or you can also use ice to kind of help with the inflammation. All right, so moving on to teeth. Of course, you need to brush your teeth and floss every day. A lot of people skip the flossing, but it is so necessary because, of course, food goes in there and you really want to floss every night. You also don't want to skip your dentist's appointments, okay? I mean, it's only every 6 months. It's basically only twice a year. I mean, you can definitely do that. And if you don't have insurance, I mean, it only costs about $100, if anything. Of course, unless they say you have cavities and all that stuff. But a regular clean is really just around $100, which is not that much. It's your teeth. Teeth are very important because it's something that doesn't necessarily grow back. You really have to take care of your teeth. So definitely go to your dentist appointments. Now, if you want to have whiter teeth, of course you can use whitening strips. And I sometimes do this. And I probably do it like at least once a year, but sometimes I don't do it. But it is something nice to do at least once a year, especially if you like to drink coffee every day. Like myself, I love coffee, so it is nice to kind of keep your teeth white. However, one way to keep your teeth naturally white, some people do oil pulling, and you can look into that. But what I do is I literally just eat fruits that clean your teeth. So, for example, apples are really good fruits that can clean your teeth as you're eating it. It actually takes all the taste of the food that I just ate, and it I really do feel like it cleans my teeth. So if you don't know what apples to buy, I will definitely recommend the Honey Crisp apples. Those are so delicious, and those are the ones that I buy all the time and I eat every day. But then there's also other stuff that can clean your teeth. I think carrots as well, and cucumbers. And I don't know, there's other stuff that you can probably look up, but apples are the best ones for me. Okay, so as for your body, you definitely want to exfoliate and moisturize. So whenever you're washing your body, I would recommend a loofah, right? And just putting any soap or whatever you use and scrubbing, because those loofahs are meant to scrub all the dead skin cells. So if you have dark spots and hyperpigmentation on your skin, for example, like dark knees, dark elbows, it's basically because you are not scrubbing and you're not exfoliating. You also want to smell good, okay? So find your signature smell. Go out and look at all the perfumes and try some on. I know some people mix perfumes and stuff. The one that I've been using is the Ariana Grande Cloud perfume, and I really like this one because it's not so strong, but a lot of people compliment that perfume. And I know so many people say this, and people are probably so bored of hearing this, but drink water. You have no idea how important water is for our bodies. I mean, it literally cleans all the toxins in our bodies. The best thing to do is to drink at least half a water bottle. So 8 ounces in the morning. You can even squeeze a lemon in it. I know that's good for digestion, but you should at least drink half a water bottle or a full bottle in the morning and throughout the day. They recommend at least 4 to 6 water bottles every day. It varies from person to person, and I know men are supposed to drink more than women. Women are typically supposed to drink at least 4 to 5 water bottles, and men like a gallon or something. And also eat healthier. I mean, especially here in America, our food is not like the best. However, sometimes what can you do? You're in a rush, you want fast food, and at least, okay, I understand. That's fine because I sometimes do that too. But what you should at least do if you have time is make a veggie smoothie. And it's actually better that way because you get the nutrients faster. But I can make a video of the smoothies that I drink. However, I do put vegetables in there and then also fruits to make it taste good. You don't want to add extra stuff, okay? You don't want to add extra sugars or anything like that. Have the fruit be the sugar. And of course, you should exercise. This one's so big, and that's another thing. If you don't like to exercise, at least eat healthy. But of course, it's so much better to exercise and eat healthy. You should at least go to the gym 3 times a week. But of course, if you can go more, that's better. You can even ask ChatGPT to give you a gym routine based on your goals and what you want. I mean, see, back then you had to spend so much money to do all this stuff. Now it's all handed to us. You just need to learn and use the technology that we have. There's a lot of videos on YouTube, a lot of videos on TikTok or any other social media platform that teach you the correct posture and teach you these things, teach you different workouts and how to do them correctly. You just need to study it and practice it. But yeah, if you really want to glow up in 2025, I would definitely recommend going to the gym. Like, you have no idea how much of a glow up people can get from going to the gym, especially if you are in the bigger side and you want to glow up and have like a fit body. The best way is working out and eating healthier. And when you're working out, you should try to add cardio. I know there's a lot of people that just like to heavy lift and then they just leave. And I mean, I get it. That's fine. Especially if they're trying to bulk. I know that they're probably not going to do cardio, but I guess cardio is really good for your heart. Even if you're just walking, maybe like an inclined walk, that's still better than nothing. I know I'm talking to a gym person right now, telling you you should at least do a little bit of cardio, at least 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes is nothing. And finally, your style, okay? And this one, I'm not going to tell you what style to choose because the most important thing is finding a style that you feel good in, okay? A style that you like. Like, especially for women, sometimes we think that dressing seductively or tight or immodest is what's beautiful because it attracts people's attention and that's how we feel beautiful and feminine. But honestly, I mean, you don't have to dress like that to be beautiful. And I am not judging those who do that. I mean, I had my time where I dressed like that. Of course, I was younger and I wanted to look like that. So I had the time where I dressed immodest. But now that I'm older, I mean, it's not my type of vibe. I don't really like to show much. And see, that's the thing. I'm a Christian girl, right? So we have to dress modestly. And a lot of people think that modesty is boring. And yes, in a sense, sometimes it can be if you don't like that certain style. Like for me, there's some Christian outfits that I look at and I'm like, yeah, I cannot wear this. This is not me. I don't like it. But you have to find what suits you. So for me, as a Christian woman, I can make a whole video about how to dress modestly and beautiful. I love to wear button-up shirts and dress pants, basically looking like I work in HR, or like a businesswoman. I love that. It's classy, it's modest, and it's beautiful, and I feel good. Sometimes I feel like a high value woman because I just feel really good wearing suits and business clothes. It's what makes me feel good. But then also, if I want to be girly, I will wear like a sundress, making sure it's long, at least up to my knees, and that makes me feel beautiful as well. Find what makes you feel good. Another thing is color theory as well. And it's funny, I actually asked ChatGPT what my color theory was, and it actually gave me this whole palette of things that work well with my skin. So you should definitely do that too. Find out what your color theory is, what colors suits you and brings out your skin tone more. Like my palette is autumn, so the colors that look good on me are like orange and brown and yellow and like an olive green. All these things make my skin stand out a lot more. All right, now we're going to move on to the inward beauty, okay? This one's a lot more complicated and a lot more serious. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to journal. And I know a lot of people say this and people are just like, what should I journal? Like, what do I talk about? You want to write down basically everything. Everything that you think of, everything that you're feeling, like all your emotions, all your desires, all your plans, all your goals, even your beliefs, like you want to basically examine yourself. And sometimes we can think something, but if we don't write it down, then we will kind of forget what goes into your mind, what is in your subconscious mind. What is happening inside internally? Like, what emotion are you feeling every day? Are you feeling depressed every day? Are you feeling sad? Or are you feeling hopeful and happy? Like, you need to figure out these things to see what you can do after that. If there needs to be other steps for you to feel good. And of course, it's good to write your desires, your plans, and your goals so that you can have like a list to go from. It's a way to have something to hope for and to smile at the future, basically giving you a motivation in your life. Another thing you should do is find hobbies. And a lot of people always say this, and I know, but it's so good to experiment and try new things, okay? And that's another thing you should write down. Write down things that you would love to do. Like for me, I have a whole list of things that I would want to do. For example, like jet skiing, skydiving, martial arts. I just want to try it one day and see how it is. I also want to try a pottery class or riding a horse, fishing. I don't know. These are just simple activities that could turn out to be a hobby in the future, which is why it's so nice to experiment because you can develop a new hobby like that. And also, if you do these hobbies alone, that is even better. I mean, you should always try to spend time alone because it's like you end up finding who you are. Sometimes people are so afraid to be alone. Like a lot of people think that being alone is weird and uncomfortable. But when you get used to being alone and you don't care about it, that's the best thing because you can be alone and have fun with yourself. I mean, since I'm a Christian, I'm never really alone. I mean, I have God. So I technically, all the times that I spend alone, I'm spending it with God. And I have so much fun. Like I talk to him like if he was with me. And to me, It's sometimes even better than hanging out with a person. All right, another thing that you should do, and this is kind of like the first one, but not really, is to examine yourself. And that's why it's so important to write stuff down, because this is the next step. By examining yourself, you're going to see what you need to remove in your life to be better, to improve. So you're sometimes going to have to get rid of people. You're going to have to get rid of relationships. You're going to have to get rid of maybe a job or a certain situation or a certain thing that is basically making you feel a certain way, that is making you feel depressed or broken or just hurting you in any way. Sometimes you have to get rid of these stuff so that you can become a better person. So removing the toxic things. Also, you might need to heal internal wounds that are with you. For example, any traumas, any fear, any worry, anything that's just going on inside you, like you need to think like, why am I afraid of this? Why does this affect me so much? And sometimes it's linked to your childhood, like childhood traumas or anything, any internal wounds in your soul that need to be healed. Now, if you have soul wounds and you basically want to be healed from those soul wounds, I mean, that can be for another video. But the best thing that I could recommend for that would be God and Jesus. I mean, He's basically the only one that can heal those wounds. But I mean, there's other stuff that you can do too. So I can leave it for another video. And to become a better person, you're also going to have to forgive, okay? And this is something that a lot of people have trouble with, but you're going to have to forgive people that have hurt you so that you can glow up and be a better person. Because whenever we keep that inside, it's there. And that's the thing. A lot of people want to keep that anger and that bitterness and that pain in them. But then it's basically blocking that glow up because it has broken you. It has wounded your soul and it has wounded your subconscious mind. I mean, there's some people that constantly think about these things. They constantly think about certain pain that people have caused them. And if you really want to glow up, you have to let go. You have to forgive those people and just move on. And trust me, once you move on and you forgive, you will be able to glow up and become the best version of yourself. Another thing that I would recommend would be meditating, but this time a lot of people always say meditating, like doing yoga or affirmations and stuff. And yeah, sure. But for me, I would say meditating on God, meditating on His word and His promises. And that's the thing. A lot of people like affirmations and they say, I can do this, I can do. And yeah, I mean, it works to a certain extent. You always want to believe in yourself. But there is nothing better than believing in a higher power. Why? Because with ourselves, if we rely on ourselves and we rely on our strength, I mean, we fail a lot. There are things that we cannot do. There are things that we just don't understand or have power over. But to rely on a higher power like God, I think it's way more superior because we're relying on someone else, someone that created the whole universe. So I don't have to depend on my strength, rather, I depend on His strength. And I guess a lot of people don't have the faith, so I understand. But for me, it makes me more hopeful because I know that it's not from me, rather from Him. And if He loves me, He's gonna do it, He's gonna be on my side. And that's another thing. Sometimes we have certain goals or desires, but our mind is very limited. Sometimes we see surface level. But if we rely on God, He sees way more than we do, and He knows exactly what would be the best for us. A lot of people don't like it because a lot of people like to have their destiny in their hands. They feel more in control and they get to do whatever they want. I understand that. But at the end of the day, is it the best thing for us? That's what I love about putting my life in God's hands. It's like I know that God knows what is best for me. He's going to give me more than what I ask. He's going to give me more than what was in my human mind. And I know some of you guys have obviously heard about the Jesus glow, and that is very true. I mean, you can be going through a lot of pain, but when you have Jesus, sometimes you still have that Jesus glow because you're not thinking about that situation anymore. You're thinking about God and you're thinking about how He is mightier and stronger than those problems that are coming in your way. Which is why we're happy. Like we can be going through a really hard time, but we're happy because we know that God's going to move and that He has our back and that He's going to turn that situation into something good. All right, another big thing that you should stop doing is comparing yourself to other people. That's why they say that comparison is the thief of joy because it is very true. I mean, why are you looking at what other people have? You should be happy with what you have. You should be grateful for what you have. And if you're not grateful for what you have, then make changes, okay? Make changes in your life. If you see that another person is very attractive in their appearance, it's maybe because they take care of themselves. Maybe because they eat healthy and they go to the gym and stuff, and you don't. So why are you looking at them? What you should do is take the initiative and do these things yourself. Try to get better. Try to fix yourself. Sometimes those people that look the happiest are actually not the happiest. So that's why you should never compare yourself to someone else, because they can play it off. They can have that poker face that, everything's fine and I'm happy, but inside they're probably hurting and they're probably going through a lot in their life. They just are so good at hiding their feelings. So you should never want someone else's life, because you never know. Okay, and lastly, it's what type of music you're listening to. Because I know we all listen to music, right? But you really have to look out for the lyrics. I know a lot of people like the beat, and just because of the beat, they will listen to it. But it is a very delicate topic, because whatever the lyrics are saying, that is what is ministering to you. So if you're listening to a song that you really like because of the beat and the vocals, but it is ministering depression and just sadness, guess what? That is what it's gonna give you. So that's why it's so important to look at the lyrics, see what it's saying, and even the testimony of that person. So if you're a person that deals with depression or anxiety and you're listening to songs that is basically saying it and you're singing along to it, you're basically allowing that stuff to take control of your life. And I know some people might think that's like not true and it's fantasy, but it's actually very real, especially if you're singing it, because as we know, words have power, okay? Life and death are in the power of the tongue. That's why a lot of people do affirmations, because as you're saying it, you're hearing it, your subconscious is hearing it, and that's exactly what comes to reality. That's what they say. And that's why I was saying that the best thing to do is saying the promises of God, because you're basically saying the word of God, you're listening to it, it gives you faith and hope, and it becomes a reality. So, in the same way, if you're singing a song that talks about depression or lust or anxiety or anything negative like that, you are singing it, your subconscious mind is hearing it, and that's exactly what is gonna happen. So, my advice is watch out what you are listening to. Look at the lyrics, look them up, and see what it says. If it has anything bad, don't listen to it. Okay. You don't want to open those doors, especially if you want to get rid of those negative stuff, those negative thoughts or emotions that are in you. Stop listening to certain songs and listen to songs that talk about positivity. I would recommend gospel music, but of course, that's because I'm Christian. If you're not Christian, then I understand. But at least songs that don't talk about that, songs that it can be upbeat and fun and happy. There are songs like that. And lastly, I just want to say live your life as if it were the last day, okay? Be fearless, take risks, because honestly, when you take risks, you feel so alive. When you do scary stuff, it's just like, oh my goodness, that rush, like I just felt so alive. God forbid, but if you had 1 week left to live, I know you would want to try everything and anything, because you want to take advantage of the last moments of your life and try out everything that the world has to offer. So, in the same way, that's what I would recommend to you guys. Live as if it were your last day. Try out new things. Take advantage of everything that this earth has, all the resources, all the fun things. And, the day that you die, you will feel like you really lived a good life and that you tried everything that there was. And also, I just want to remind you guys that the inward beauty, whatever is inside, outshines the outward beauty. Okay. When someone is joyful from the heart and humble and just is always smiling and happy, like that energy and positivity, it's something that is so attractive. And you always want that person to be around you all the time. Those people literally glow and shine. So if you really want to glow and shine, focus on the inward beauty, because as you fix your inward and as your soul becomes beautiful, it will then come forth and it will make your physical appearance more beautiful with smiling, with positivity. And trust me, a beautiful soul is so much more precious and valuable than a pretty face. If you like this video, I will be showing you more videos like this, so make sure to subscribe.